And we are back. Welcome back to the Nick Hall Comedy Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Hall, joined as always by
Josh Griffey.
Hey, we got a big week. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching here on YouTube, go ahead and jam those like buttons. Go ahead and leave us a comment or a review. We appreciate those things, and they also, they improve our clout.
That's true.
We are clout chasers.
Clout chasing like the kids. Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead. And if you want some sweet Kent Murphy gear or just, Trash Throws gear, go on over to CoachKentMurphy.com/shop and, do that. There's some pretty cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
Some
ratings
really cool.
and reviews on Apple Podcasts helps. Get yourself a Maui hat. Put it on your social so you can gain clout like us. All that good stuff.
That's a clout building hat.
Shout us out on your social medias. We'll have we'll start a real clout NATO.
If you wear like the Trash Show shirt in public, you'll get real life clout.
That's true.
Like it won't be you can't see the comments forever, but you'll get them. You know what I mean?
I mean, real life compliments are useless.
You'll slide into the real life algorithm.
Yeah.
And
But this is how it works though, right? When someone gives you a compliment in real life, you sit there and you go, that's cool for now. But when you tell people later, they assume you're a fucking liar.
Yeah.
They're like, no one complimented you. That's not a thing. I'm like, if you want to give me a true compliment, you find one of my 18 social media profiles and you put that shit on print so I can pull it up as evidence.
Yeah. Put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So my old, my mom can find it and be like, look, my son isn't a total idiot in real life,
I want those fucking people from my high school to know that, they weren't all the way right about me.
Yeah. Man, my high school friends they're fun. They're fun.
I essentially am down to zero.
Yeah?
Like I have let's say 4 or 5 guys I had that were like friends in high school, right?
Yeah.
Almost all of us are like doing the kids and whatever now. I would say maybe 2 of them, like we kind of will like message on Facebook, rarely, but occasionally.
Yeah.
2 of them that were like younger guys that hung out with us, like maybe same thing, but like probably only 2 I'm actually in contact with.
I think I have 2 as well. Dustin, there was my college roommate, but we've been friends since like 6th grade.
Right.
He's the only one that I'm like truly like still really good friends with.
Right.
And then I have another buddy that he lives in Alaska. That we still stay in contact, but I mean he lives in Alaska.
Yeah, he made a choice.
It's not like we hang out and stuff, but like
when you move to Alaska,
those are the 2. Like, but if he comes back to town, I'll be like, hey, hit me up. Let's grab a drink. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anybody else? Not interested.
Yeah,
you know
it was weird because like I moved in the middle of high school, so I have that weird like rebooting thing, and it was strange, but. I tell you, I think it's like honestly the social media and politics and a lot of stuff. It's become this perfect, because Facebook when it came out, I remember being in college. We were like some of the first people
kids
to get
only,
it.
Man.
Yeah, and it was like, hey, I want to go see what I did last night. That's what Facebook was for. I want to search and see if anyone got actual photographic evidence of the crimes I was committing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it became this fucking thing. And then you're like, oh, of course I'm going to add Dick Stick McCringleberry from, 3rd period. Whatever, and then you're like, I don't need to see that guy talking shit about flags and statues. Blocked.
Well, like that's the thing, because like when we got it, we were at Ball State because you had to have a college ID.
You had to have a college email. That was the
college
rule.
email, to get it. So now, like, I have all these Facebook friends, and like, a post will pop up and it'll be this girl, and I'll be like, who in the fuck is that? And then I look, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I probably thought she was hot in college or something. So I added her like 15 years ago in college. You know what I mean? Like,
and now
she
you're
has no idea who the fuck I am to this day. Probably.
Now she wears Keds and has 3 kids. Blocked. No, but that's what it's that weird thing is like we spent all this time developing these networks and kind of creating our lives. Like I have people, and you know who you are, so I don't feel like this is rude, right? I won't say a specific name. But there are probably like 3 or 4 people I know that I'm in contact with almost every day.
Yeah.
I know what's going on in your life. You know what's going on in your life. And then I see your Facebooks and shit, and it's like, dude, what the fuck? Don't curate. I think it's more fun. My thing is like, don't post pictures of you guys out like in an apple orchard. Like, the next time you and your husband are going at it, turn the fucking phone on it. Like, we don't have cops anymore. That's what I want now. I want people recording themselves fighting with their spouses.
I think, like, most of my, like, the people from my high school, like the number one status update I think from them is, like, you know, people think I'm mean, but I'm just blunt. You know what I mean? Like, that's, like, the number one post, because, like, that's as far as their brains can reach. You know what I mean? I'm just blunt. You know, I just tell it like it is.
Well, also, they're like, I clearly have shared 5 articles that are conspiracy theories today. I obviously am smarter than you.
Yeah, now I got to go through and delete all those people before this podcast comes out.
No,
oh, no.
But see, my brother, God bless his soul, I love him, right? You know, Black Phillip, be praised or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's one of those guys, he gets on Facebook to just say, like, the most horrible shit about people. And I remember I got on one day and he was like, this guy, I heard you were talking shit. I'm going to come snap your neck in front of your, like, wife and kids, I think. Something like that. I might be paraphrasing. But, like, a personal threat of violence. And I had to, like, message my brother. I was like, hey, man, I don't know if you're aware, but that's evidence. Like, if you threaten to murder him on Facebook and then you go murder him at his house, that's premeditation, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you got to go over there and, like, have, like, 5 rock stars or whatever.
You're implicating yourself right now.
Yeah, just chug energy drinks and say it was a fit of rage or whatever.
Well, the thing that made me mad about Facebook recently, because one of my favorite things to do is to, like, go on, like, news articles into the comments.
Yeah.
And just troll people. And just write really outlandish, absurd shit. Because it's fun for me. Because, like,
you're one of those.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that, like, okay, so if I go on SportsCenter's fucking post and I go into their comments and, like, somebody's, you know, dick riding LeBron or something, and I'm like, and then I'll just spend, like, you know, a paragraph trashing LeBron, and then anybody of my friends
can see what you did.
Who fucking follow SportsCenter, like, when they see that post, they just see my glaring comment, and then I have to explain myself and all that. And
you're like, you've been unmasked as a troll, and it's not as fun.
Back from the technical difficulty. That's, you know, it's what we do.
But yeah, no, but trolling on Facebook is interesting.
Yeah,
because I don't know about you, but I have literally a graveyard filled with deleted comments and tweets.
Oh, sure.
Because the thing with social media now is that the feeds have become, my Facebook is so weird because almost every human being that I'm friends with is muted or blocked to where I can't see their shit.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, like, the tons of them. I don't see any human stuff.
That's great.
But I see articles and like, I tried to get it to where it was just memes.
Yeah.
But somehow it's always political shit.
Yeah.
And you'll wake up in the morning, you'll see a news story, and you're like, oh, what's this fucking nonsense? You look at it, and you're like, well, that's just not a good news story. And you're like, I think we can all agree something should be done about this. And then you go to the comments, and it's just, fuck. And I'll spend more time looking at comments, and I'll see something that someone read, and I'm like, who is this person? Like, what kind of life is this? Then you go to their profile. I start looking at their photos. I'm like, maybe I'll throw, like, a comment on some of their personals. But I did it last week. I made the mistake, right?
Yeah.
So NASCAR has this thing going on with the Confederate flags and Bubba Watson's garage hanger, which clearly was a noose or whatever.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, the FBI, I don't know, they sent, like, the guy from Gone with the Wind to investigate. And he's like, I do declare.
They're wrapping a car, like, starting this week, and it just says Trump 2020 on it. Yeah.
So, like, NASCAR has become this, like, hotbed of politics, right? And I was not diving in. I don't do politics online. When I used to work in an office, I was like you. I had an office job, so all day I'm just sitting there. And I was like, well, fuck, this is great. I can get in an argument with someone about politics for 3 hours. Great.
Yeah.
Now I don't do that. But I saw a headline, and it was, survey says NASCAR fans are very unhappy or something. And I was like, no shit. So I just, without even thinking, I think I might have been, like, on the toilet, right? Just sent the news, like, why is this news? If you're watching NASCAR, we can already assume things aren't going your way, right? That was the comment. Just like, you know, a joke about you should be watching anything other than NASCAR. Well, next thing you know, I start getting these, like, alerts, and it's like, this guy, like, poll writer 95. You know,
Pole rider.
like NASCAR puns.
Pole position, yeah, it's good.
Like
yeah,
NASCAR puns or whatever. And I was like, right on. And then next thing you know, he's like, well, it looks like your life's sad because you can't afford a haircut, boy. And I was like, who is this? When did this happen? Like, he's commenting on my picture of me and my son at a pizza place.
Hell yeah.
Making a funny face. I was like, what? And then I looked, and now I had this just deluge of angry, bald white guys with goatees commenting on that comment, and some of them have trickled into my part. And I was just like, all because I thought of, like, a throwaway NASCAR joke I wanted to do. And it's like, I feel like social media, though, it's going the other way, where now we're hating human beings.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Well, like, speaking of NASCAR, like, one of the funniest things I've ever seen with NASCAR fans was, so like a few years, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, I did a little bit of work with this company in Milwaukee. They're like a big production company or whatever. And so I was sitting up there with the dude that brought me in or whatever, and we were doing like some street interview stuff, or like going over ideas for street interviews. And he's like, dude, you got to check this video out. So this company got contracted out by one of the major tobacco companies to get like reaction videos of people chewing their dip or whatever. Right? So he was like, well, we're going to a NASCAR event because like they love, you know,
sure.
It's either there or like a baseball stadium. You're going to find people dipping. You know what I mean? You have two options.
Wherever divorced dad hangs out.
Yeah. So they go to this NASCAR event, right? And the rules are like when you're doing, because the tobacco company wants to use this for like promotions, like on their website and shit. So like they can't compare the flavor. They can't say like, oh, that's refreshing, and they can't say, oh, it tastes like candy or anything like, because you can't, like, because tobacco, like you can't glorify tobacco.
So like
that.
make it kids want to do it,
right? Yeah,
like
exactly.
when they invented Joe Camel, it was because he was a cartoon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like there's stipulations on what they can say.
But wait, this was for an internet video, or this?
Yeah,
was
that the tobacco company was going to use for their stuff.
Shit.
This company was just producing the video for them.
I didn't know you couldn't do that online.
Yeah, you can't promote it in any way. But anyway, so they go to this event, and like that's their stipulation. Like, so the whole key to the video was they're giving people like, "Hey, do you chew?" And they're like, "Yeah." Okay, try this, and then describe it to me. But you can't say this.
Don't say it's good.
And it was literally like a 5-minute video of people just going. So I can't say like refreshing. Like, no, he's like, it's real good. And like, it was 5 minutes, and him and I was in tears laughing because it was, and everybody had the exact same accent, and they were just like, that's real good. Because they couldn't think of anything else to describe. Because what else are you gonna say? It's the funniest shit, man.
See,
and that's when I was like, I love NASCAR fans.
I've always found like the redneck people like this, right? Like I used to spend summers.
Dude, half my family's redneck. I'm been around it.
We're
man.
From Indiana, so like we have a lot of this, a lot of experience. Obviously, Kent Murphy comes out of redneck tradition, right? So
correct.
We have a lot of this in our families. But I used to work at a car factory, right? And what I've always found amazing about the redneck groups, right? Because everyone, you can say like average stupidity higher, you know,
let's say
bad life choices.
Rural,
yeah. Rural, right? You can say whatever you want about them. But what they have are amazing turn of phrase.
Okay, oh yeah.
And so I was like, the tobacco video, right? You should have gotten some good
That's
ones.
what I thought
like,
too.
This guy I used to work with. It blew my mind because I remember being a young guy. I was like, I think I'm funny. Like, I want to, you know, do comedy and like make movies and shit, videos, whatever. And we're sitting at the car lot, and I can't remember what, but I rolled up and I had some picture of a girl, whether it was on a magazine or a DVD cover, something. For some reason, I had it at my locker at the factory, right? And this guy just walks up and he hits me with the classic. Because he has the suspenders on, right?
Yeah,
the Jeffrey Dahmer, like, murder glasses and a mullet. And he just hits me with a, like, that little whistle, right? And I turn around, he's looking over my shoulder, like, uncomfortably close to the picture of this young lady. And he just goes, God damn, I'd eat 2 miles of her shit just to see where it comes from. And it was one of those, it took me, I was like, wait, what? Because I got stuck on the eating shit part. But then once you figure it out, you're like, that is one of the funniest fucking ways to just say you want to see a girl's butt.
You want to have a good look at her butthole.
Well, because I just wanted to stop and be like, you know, technically, Larry, you can just you could look and your eyes can see 2 miles. You could see the butt without all the poop eating. But, I like your... That's why... But they always have a phrase, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like my grandpa just calling us squirrel bait. Like there's so many weird, like...
Squirrel bait?
Because we were nuts.
Oh,
when we were little boys, he'd like... Oh, squirrel bait's here. Like, hang him by the tree. And I was like, what?
I never heard that one.
But no, that was like something my grandpa said to me for like years, and I didn't figure it out until I was like 15. Yeah. And I was like, oh, squirrel bait. But like, they always had a phrase. Yeah. So that's why it makes me sad when I go in these comment sections and the NASCAR fans are just being as dumb as we think they are.
Yeah.
Like, you guys got the phrases. You have all the weaponry.
Yeah, let it fire.
Use it.
Yeah, my mom used to just call me and my brothers Damien and the Disciples. That's what my mom used to call us all the time.
The Disciples.
Yeah.
Well, who was Damien? You?
Probably.
Yeah, you were the one.
Yeah, I was a real shithead, man. Yeah. I used to hear that a lot. Yeah.
No, it makes me sad, though. I think the commenters could be funnier. I did have a couple stories I wanted to run by you today.
Let's do it.
So I actually pulled them up because I sent you these, and I was like, I'm finding gold this week. So the first one was a breaking news alert I got, right? I don't know why it like targeted me because
breaking news.
I'm not on this news site either.
None of the shit you told me was breaking news.
Well, right.
Like, urgent
It
news.
says right there, breaking.
I know, but
breaking news. Sex addict sues Amazon-owned video platform Twitch for $25 million because it has, quote, too many scantily clad gamers, end quote, that cause him to, quote, injure himself, unquote. The players affecting the sex addict, all the women caused him to masturbate so much that he caused actual harm and damage to his penis and had to go to a hospital, I believe, for said injuries.
You're going to pull that thing off.
And
if you don't stop, you're going to pull that thing off.
You're going to pull that thing off.
Is this where you want to be when Jesus comes back? Jerking your gherkin?
Jerking your gherkin. I haven't heard that one in ages. But so this guy, but this is the thing. I sent this to some people, and they thought, oh, that's funny. He'll lose the lawsuit. I was like, he's going to win that lawsuit.
No, he's not.
They're going to settle that.
No judge is even going to allow that in court.
The stupid...
Because that sets you can sue every... Pornhub's fucked.
That's true. I would be in line for a lot of money.
You had way too many good-looking stepdaughters on there. I had to... What was I to do?
They start getting sued. It's like, I don't think these people are actually step-related. I think this is an elaborate jerking-off ruse. No.
Step-related.
My theory is that this guy somehow knows something that we don't. Do you think he actually filed such a ridiculous
he had to have.
suit without... I mean, this is the other thing. It reminded me of that McDonald's lawsuit, right?
I
watched a whole documentary
I saw it.
where it became this running joke here in America where they're like, oh, a lady got a hot coffee and she sued what a bitch. And you see the documentary.
She got fucked up by that coffee.
Like the flesh of her leg is gone.
Yeah. It was,
right?
I didn't know that until I watched the documentary.
And complications from that did shorten her life. And that McDonald's, it was like 200-degree coffee. They had like a bunch of complaints. So this is what I wonder. So the things we need to know, how bad's the damage?
Yeah.
Like how bad is the hog looking?
Yeah, but Twitch didn't spill fucking like jack-off beans onto this guy. You know what I mean? Like
jack-off beans. Yeah. It's like
they didn't brew jack-off beans and dump it on him.
Yeah. No, everyone knows. It's like Peter Pan, right? When a Twitch girl flies over her and his dust gets on you think happy thoughts and you can J.O. No, but this is what I mean. If they can prove that algorithmically Twitch is feeding him a nonstop deluge of these scantily clad women, right?
That'd be cocky beans, by the way. Coffee.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
It just circled around the old noggin.
His cockiness was
and
high.
Of course, I was like, I should say that out loud.
Well, I mean, we're only on the internet for everyone to see. But this is what I'm saying, though. If they can prove algorithmically that this guy, they're like, what if they even prove that somehow they got the feed? Like, you ever notice that? Like, I was telling my wife, I was like, hey, what do you want for your birthday? And we started talking. She's like, houseplants or something. Like, she was like saying all this like house stuff. I fucking swear to God, the next day I got on my Facebook, or like within an hour, right? Fucking plant shit everywhere.
Yeah.
So what did Twitch and them have access to all of our cameras? They're like, we got another J.O.er. Feed him, send him in to the sausage factory. And I'm not saying it's like the girls are not at fault. You got to make your money where you make your money.
Here's the thing. You could be a star witness for Twitch on their side. Yeah.
I'm pro Twitch.
No, not for Twitch, but you could be like, listen, I watch real porn all the time, and I don't even JO that every time.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I'm like an expert witness.
See, it's not it's a personal choice.
So I'm getting called in.
Yeah.
Well, this is the other term that they're using.
And then they'll
loosely.
object, obviously. Yeah.
Well, because I was asking you about this. Like, what qualifies you as a sex addict? Because, like, in our YouTube comments about our video about, like, my research watching.
Right.
People were like, he's Patrick Bateman, and he's like a sex
I think it's
don't know.
I think it's when it impedes on your life.
Which mine doesn't.
To where it ruins things.
Well, like, if this guy literally can't walk and put on pants.
Right. But I'm saying I think that's what, like, an actual addict.
It's a sex
like,
addict.
if it's ruining other parts of your life.
Yeah.
Then you probably have a problem.
Well, because
you know what I mean? Because I'm I like to.
Yeah, everyone does.
Like to, hey, watch some porn. I like to have sex.
Right.
I enjoy it.
This is what I mean, though, right? Is that given the choice, everyone I feel like would choose sex or JOing over any other thing you can do. So the fact that some guy just does it more. Like, we don't know what his setup was either.
Yeah.
Like, if he's treating his little dingy like, the children in the Spartan Society in the 300, then that's on him.
I didn't forget to, like, pay rent last month because I was too busy J&O. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not in the addict category. I have skipped work for
this guy clearly has internet and YouTube to be watching Twitch all day.
Yeah.
Or internet, a device. He's not doing that under the underpass.
But you can't, just because he likes, whacking it to Twitch.
But that's what I mean. Is he really an addict?
You can't sue him for it, even if he
I feel like that was a term invented by celebrities that got caught cheating and
because they're not doing anything illegal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they can't be held accountable for just because some guy rubbed his dick skin off watching, somebody play fucking Minecraft for 4 hours or whatever. But
I don't know.
Mine Shaft, you know what I mean?
They came after all entertainment, right? Yeah. All entertainment bears some responsibility.
I disagree.
You disagree? I mean, I do. Like, I remember we talked about it on my other movie podcast, Film Alchemist. We did Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
And we got to tie, and I was like, I remember that movie, and like it kind of happened around Columbine. And I remember when Columbine happened, like
that was way before Columbine, wasn't it?
No, it came after. I believe Natural Born Killers was like 2 years after.
No, wait, Columbine was like 99.
Was it?
Yeah.
So it was 2 years before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was in the ballpark though, right?
Either way.
But I remember that happening and being in school. And I remember my mom and dad storming my room. Like they were like Rambo trying to save my life. And they're like, do you have Marilyn Manson CDs or Dune? Or not Dune, Doom. The video game. I'm like, the fucking computer game from like 8 years ago? Like, no, I have better video games. It's 1999. Like, what are you talking about?
Duke Nukem, man.
Yeah, but they thought for sure. They're like, if my kid has Marilyn Manson or Doom, that we're going to like immediately be fucking murderers. And then we got the rating systems, right?
Yeah.
Gangster Rap got the buy this album sticker, right? You're like, if it doesn't have that sticker, I don't want it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Twitch.
Well,
and
maybe
the hub.
like my parents could have stopped me from being a sex addict because like I had a bunch of Too Short CDs, and like all that dude sang about was just how many chicks he
just
banged
smashing ass
every day.
I shouldn't have found the Ying Yang Twins in college. But that's what I mean. I don't know, like, because we did this with cigarettes, right? Like, it's weird to me that cigarette companies got killed or shut down, like you were saying. Cigarettes are giving you exactly what the fuck they say they're giving you.
Right, but I also see the merit in not like advertising that.
I agree with you.
To where kids can see it. Because it's not good.
This is like, again, I think parents should be like, hey, stop smoking.
Yeah.
Right? To your own children. But this is what I mean. Like, so cigarettes give you exactly what they say.
Yeah.
And then they get in trouble. Alcohol, same thing, right?
Yeah.
But they're not in trouble. Like, all this stuff is bad for you.
Because all the lawmakers are drinking and smoking while they write the laws.
I'll bet you a lot of those lawmakers are JOing when they weren't. Well, the problem is all our lawmakers are like 60.
Yeah.
So
plus
they're probably,
those companies
but they
have
would
like
have been.
more money than God, and they just are like, hey, keep this legal.
Dude, I bet the hub
They're
is
like, here's
worth.
A couple $100 million, keep this legal for a while. You know what I'm saying?
The hub could probably pay that bill with like one stepson video.
Yeah, yeah.
They could have their own powerful like JOing lobby. Yeah. But this is what I mean. why can you go after cigarettes but not the fucking TNA industry? Like we don't want a civilization
but Pornhub's not giving you lung cancer, man.
Right, but if it's giving you a fucking gnarled elephant man
sweet
dick,
boner.
yeah, for some of us, right? But there are people. Keith Richards has been smoking for what, my entire life plus 50.
He's not from Earth.
But that's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
There are some of us that will be fine to do our JOing. There are others that are it's half hanging off. They're taking emergency room beds in the middle of this crisis. Like this is a public health pandemic that we haven't even gotten to yet.
But okay, then I would maybe he could sue like the lotion companies for not advertising enough.
There's not enough.
He's like, I didn't even know it was out there. You should advertise it more, and I wouldn't have ripped my dick off.
I'm just saying, I am not a moralist. I'm for I think all drugs should be legal.
All debauchery.
Should be legal. You only get X amount of time on this earth.
Yeah.
And if you're not hurting another person.
We are not condoning any of this,
if you're not hurting another person, do whatever they want.
I agree.
If you want to just do heroin all day, every day.
Don't.
Fucking, that's your choice, man.
Don't.
Like, I'm not here to judge other people's choices. Like,
yeah, I agree. It's your choice, but don't.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's a shitty life.
Yeah,
it's like the least fun seeming drug of all time. Like, I think it's a terrible, terrible thing. But if someone's just like, hey, man, it's how I get by. I don't like that coming in and like, judgments and all that kind of stuff.
Where's the line though?
But that's what I mean. If we're going after cigarettes and McDonald's has to pretend to serve a salad that has more calories than a burger anyways, like, what are we doing? Like, why can't this guy win the lawsuit?
Probably a shit.
I'm watching it purely because
I
think
win that lawsuit.
The 6-part Netflix documentary on this guy winning the lawsuit.
But if he wins, real home footage.
Yeah, right. There I was again. You know what I mean? That'll be 3 episodes. They won't even start the show till the 5th episode, of course.
Oh God, yeah.
But this way, I'm interested more because I think he could win. Because we now as a society are saying you don't have to take responsibility for your own fucking problems.
Yeah, there's no... Oh, man. God, there's no way, man.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine if he wins. Imagine.
Jeff Bezos.
Also, I love the idea that he's valuing his own dingus at $25 million.
Well, that's the thing, like Jeff Bezos, like he just gave half of his fucking life earnings to his wife who earned none of it. And then he has,
bullshit. She had to have sex with Jeff Bezos, like when he still had the hair.
But then he has to shell out $25 million because a guy couldn't stop whacking it to one of his websites. He's like, when does it stop?
$25 million for Jeff Bezos is when I'm like, maybe I'll get that extra donut at the gas station. Like that guy's made what? He's about to be a trillionaire because of Corona.
He's fine.
He's fine. That's what I mean. He might just pay this guy, be like, that's so sad.
Nickel and diming me to death with these jack-off lawsuits.
These jack-off laws.
But dude, if that happens,
my theory is that
if he wins, I swear to God, I'm going to pull my dick off tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to pull it off. But
procreated.
I'll injure it to where it can be repaired.
Yeah,
for 25.
It'll look like a boomerang.
For $25 million, I'll do it.
But that's what I think. What's going to come back is like an arbitrator's going to be like, "Come on, $25 million, that thing. Come on."
If he gets $1 million, I'm ripping my dick skin off.
They're probably going to talk him down to like
Twitch.
A cool $2,500. They'll be like, "We'll double the Corona stimulus. That's how much your dingus is worth."
Okay, we'll double your Corona.
It was a pandemic.
Here's another.
Thank you for staying at home and being lured more.
Here's another stimulus check. Go buy some goddamn lotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, heathen.
Actually, just do hand sanitizer. Protect yourself at both.
That's even
that's
worse.
What I mean. I think they're going to knock the value off the top, but I would not be surprised if this guy makes some cash.
There's no way. There's no way.
I'm telling you, the courts are filled with right-wing judges right now, right? And what are those guys the most afraid of, right? We always hear about this culture war. They're like, there's an army of JOers coming, right? This guy will be our flagship case where all of a sudden we're going to hammer someone for like Twitch for $25 million, and that's how they're gonna backdoor try to take away all of our fun times.
Do you think so like during the discovery process of the trial, and he's like, do you think they're just gonna base it on like we'll take your word for it when he's like, here's some pictures of my mangled cock.
No, I think they're going to be like, stand up. Well,
Are they really going to examine the evidence? Like, no, we believe you, man.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
You came this far.
Oh.
You for sure have a mangled cock. We get it.
No, the defense lawyer, it's going to be, again, not to go back to the Elephant Man, but that opening scene where John Merrick's like this freak of nature, right? He's like this weird, massive They pull him out, and it's like, other doctors, gather around. Please disrobe so we can, be astonished by your body. That's what they're going to do to this guy's dingo. It's a fact. But my guess is the discovery process is going to be even creepier, where it's, hello, this is the defense attorney. Can I talk to the NSA guy who had the worst job ever? And he's like, yeah, I was on his Xbox Connect every night, just watching him do this to himself.
I hope they make like a John Grisham movie out of it, like a real dramatic courtroom, and he's like, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Does this look like a healthy cock to you?
Maybe they'll call it the Pelican Brief because that's what his dingus looks like.
It certainly won't be called the Firm.
Was that just two?
Yeah.
Grisham puns? Hell yeah. I don't know. I would just say, guys, keep an eye out. This is how our freedoms erode. This is how they come for our wild and unruly internet.
I heard my favorite porn name, by the way, the other day that I had never heard. I can't believe I never heard it. But it was Tom Screws. Like Tom Screws. Like Tom Cruise. But it was Tom Screws.
It was right there all those years.
Yeah, I can't believe I know. I laughed my ass off at it.
Oh,
well, Tom Screws. Yeah.
Speaking of screws, there you go. That's
Good
I
segue.
found another story.
Okay.
Right? So this came from Good Morning America. I don't know why I was getting these amazing alerts. It's just like ding ding. It was like gold. All right, so I got a picture. I showed you this. This is the couple, right?
Oh yeah.
So this couple, they were having infertility issues, right?
Sure.
She couldn't carry the baby, whatever. So they came up with this
sucks.
idea.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I mean it's terrible, right? My own cousin actually went through like a lot of that trying,
same.
and finally they have the kid, and it's all awesome.
Right.
Congrats, guys. But they couldn't figure it out, and they came up with this plan. And her quote, I believe, is, "I feel like my mom is the closest place to home she can be, rather than my own body." So this lady asked her 51-year-old mother to carry her baby for her. Is that being a good parent or a shitty kid?
Did they use his jizz?
Oh, it's his seed.
Oh.
And that's the thing. I think it's one of her eggs too.
So,
right?
Yeah. I mean, this day and age, though, it's like...
Wait, are you insinuating that he gets to actually go live?
Let's do. You got to do it. You got to be natural about it.
Well, the husband's like, "All right, this is fucked up. If you want my participation, these are my terms.
Here's my term.
My only term.
Or I wonder if, like,
your mom, Motel 6.
Well, I wonder if he was just like the dumb guy, though. Like, they're sitting in the doctor's office, and they're like, the doctor's like, "Yes, your mother could definitely carry this to term." And he was like, "Fuck yeah, you're gonna bang your mom." And they're like, "No, like we just, it's like a petri dish." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I know." Like, "Oh yeah, I know." Yeah, I knew.
He was so pumped.
He was like really stoked to get a banger mom.
He was like making that plan, like, "Oh, it didn't take again. I'm gonna need another sesh with Judy."
She's like, "My mom's gonna carry it." And he's like, "Babe, I know this was a tough decision, but thank you for allowing me to bang your mother."
That's not at all what we're talking about.
That's not what the hard part was.
It'll be hard for me, but I'll hold my nose. Get it
This
done.
one will be the firm.
Dude, but I was just thinking about how, I mean, aside from just the creepiness, right? Like, this is not okay. Yeah. Is this okay?
I don't know. I don't know if this is common or not. I don't think I can't imagine that it is.
Well, so it can't be good on her old ass body.
And then,
I know this is how like the people who have 19 kids do it, but come on, that's not okay. He's got to
be in that delivery room, just like staring right up, right down her mom's.
Yeah, this is
vagina.
Let me say this: as a man who has been in the room for 2 births, it is a menagerie of horrors.
Yeah.
of both sound and sight and smell that you can never erase from your life, right? One of the ways you erase it is that you get to see beautiful children and continue to have sex, right? With the mother-in-law, that should be out of the equation.
Yeah.
It is, but I'm worried about her old body. There's all these cases.
She's only 51. She's not like...
That's old as fuck. That's old as fuck.
Not that old.
Dude, that is old as fuck. What's the average life expectancy?
I don't know.
You're over half. That's old as fuck. Dude, we're not halfway to...
I feel like it.
Well, us personally.
Feel it in my knees.
Right? Well, yeah, but I'm old enough. I also wouldn't carry a baby for someone.
Well, no.
But I saw what my wife went through, and she's a very healthy 30-year-old when we had our first kid, right?
Yeah.
It was hard. Like, it was hard to, like, see what she went through.
Yeah.
It was hard on me, too, because I had to be an emotional support guy and stuff. But that's what I mean. That's an old-ass lady. Like, what if your mom's head explodes trying to push your gigantic kid out? You have to carry that, like, oh, here's my son. He killed grandma. You know, like, that's fucking crazy. That's not right.
At least he got to bang grandma one more time. You know, the dad.
Dad's
or I mean the son-in-law, not the dad. The dad's probably like, grandpa's like, hell yeah.
What if that was the deal, though, right? Is that the wife's like, oh, yeah, you want to bang my mom? All right, then I get to bang your dad, and we'll see who gets knocked up first. Maybe it's your seeds.
Yeah,
Maybe dad has stronger swimmers, so it's just grandpa.
Well, like I read this thing the other day. Some celebrity was talking about it. I don't remember who, but she wouldn't let the husband or whoever, the father of her child, in the room. Like when she was giving birth, because she said that once they see that, it's no longer a sexual, it like desexualizes the vagina for them.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
Not wrong. I mean, it wears off.
Well, yeah.
But there is a phase.
But she was like super afraid of it, and she was getting trashed in the comments. Like, you're making him skip the most beautiful thing. And she's like, what? I still want my husband.
It's not.
I don't know.
Beautiful.
I've never had a kid.
Let me
I know nothing about it.
So my wife was, she actually asked me recently, she's like, you say a lot of very personal shit about us on the pod. I was like, all right, so let me cut out some of the stuff.
Yeah.
But let me put it this way. It is one of the most horrendous things I've ever seen. And I watch Hellraiser for fun, like all the time. And this is what there is nothing beautiful about it. The moment you see it, you're like, oh, there is no God, because this is not intelligent design. You're like, my kid's melon is so fucking huge. There were scissors involved, and he had like a cone head. He's like ripping his way out, and you're like, if there was a God, he wouldn't do that.
Like in Quado.
Yeah. No, dude, for real. And it's like, wouldn't we just lay eggs like other smart species, right? Like, if there was a God, right? So you lose faith in God. All of a sudden, you're like, you lose faith in your sexual ability, period. Because you're like, once you see an 8-pound child come out of the vagina, you're like, well,
I can't fill that up.
Well, I'm not doing shit. You're like, only oral for the rest of our days. And then they come out, and they're fucking covered in crud.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff comes out. I mean, worse than crud, because it's like sticky. It's like the nightmare version of a 90s Nickelodeon room. That whole place is just
Just got gacked.
Yeah, you got gacked. And it's fucking horrendously scary in that room. Then they take the kid, and it's like, mine was like a NASCAR crew, where they run him over, like pumping him and like getting all the shit out, and they wash him. Then they hand him to you.
Yeah.
And then when he's cleaned and washed, your wife's like fucking murder scene of a lower body's covered up. You're like, now I can still smell stuff, but now I can begin to embrace the, miracle of creation.
Yeah.
But it is the worst experience. And that lady, I don't think this is something I fucking hate. And this gets back to the J.O.ing case. We are a society that is so fucking sexually repressed. I don't think it's weird that a woman says, you know what? I would like for my husband to still be attracted to me, and she's a little timid and whatever about.
Yeah. No, I'm not mad at her. I'm just saying she got.
Well, no, I'm saying the ladies that trash her in the comment are assholes.
Can you think of like.
If the dad wanted to be in, and she said no, that's different.
Right.
I'm assuming he was
probably like, fuck yeah.
Cool, I'll be in the lobby watching Breaking Bad. Like, it's fine.
No, I was thinking. Do you know, like, can you imagine how few people there would be if we laid eggs?
You think?
Yeah, because
we'd have like IKEA egg baskets and shit.
No, dude, because like, you know, like there wouldn't be any teen pregnancies because it'd be like, oops.
Who would go to the NASCAR events?
There'd be so few people because like there's so many scumbag guys out there that'd just be like, oh, I stepped on it.
Oh, bro.
Oh no, what have I done? Oh no.
Maybe that's better for everyone.
No, I don't know. I'm not debating the merits of it. I would just like.
Well, it depends too. Like if the egg's equally as big, then that's not a good deal. But I'm saying, what if like a mom's like, here's 4 eggs?
You shit out of a fucking like it looks like the egg chair that you.
Yeah. Well, like when a fetus starts, right, is like one cell, right? They're small enough that you're like, all right, so maybe the size of like a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
I've seen that on the internet. You pop like 6 out.
Yeah.
And then you just go. We're more of a 4-kid family.
I do not envy pregnant women.
No.
Like I respect the hell out of it.
It's
like
the
that
worst.
It's just like 9 months of misery for them, like for their body.
Yeah, it's actually
like
10 months too for a lot of people. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like the most unenviable.
Yeah.
Thing to have to do.
And then you're put on IR for the other stuff for like 3 to 4 months, right?
And you're going through like all of that, like your body is just like and you can't even just get
then you
hammered.
Start the milk.
You can't even get hammered and forget about it. You know, you just have to sit in it.
Yeah.
And you just got to wade through that water and just live there.
Here's another cruel thing. Sometimes the women get so depressed that they actually are a danger to the baby.
Yeah.
Like that's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
This is probably going to make me sound like an asshole, but I actually got out of jury duty with that excuse. I got called for jury duty in LA. And we had just had Hunter. And I was like, I don't want to do jury duty. And I was like, but I also don't want to like, I had that classic like TV thing where like, I'm going to go on the stand and be like, I hate, and like insert racist whatever. Yeah. So I was like, I don't want to be a racist. I just don't want to do jury duty. And I was like,
easy way to get out.
I don't want that hung on me, right?
Yeah.
So like maybe I'll like just be a jury. And I was like, wait a sec. So I went up and I was like, because they put us in this big room and I'm reading a book. I was like, hey man, you know, I just really like, I shouldn't be here today. I'm really scared. I'm like, why? And I was like, well, we just had our first kid. He said, congrats. Thanks. That means a lot to me. But I'd like that kid to survive. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah, my wife's been acting real weird. And I just got an email from my doctor that said, don't leave her alone with the kid. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, she's got,
what?
I was like, she's got that depression. Like she could be a risk to herself and the baby. And the lady was like, no way. I was like, yeah, it's horrible. I'm really emotionally like obviously I was playing.
You went full in on that line.
I did.
Man.
I went full in. I was like, I think my wife is a danger.
Yeah.
And the lady excused me from jury duty. And I didn't have to pretend to be racist. I got out.
No, you just had to like if that lady ever meets your wife, she's like, thanks for not killing
She's like
your
writing
kid.
the state nursing
and Amy's
board.
gonna be like, what?
Yeah. NICU nurse, danger to babies.
It's like, dude, when one time way back in the day when I was like 20 or 21 or whatever, I had this job and I got hammered the night before and like I just felt like garbage the next day. And so I called into work and that was when I thought I had to be like really creative.
Yeah.
You know, with excuses. Like I didn't realize you could just be like, yeah, I'm not coming today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I said that my friend Tommy died, and the reason I used Tommy was because it was this kid I went to Ball State with. His name was Tommy, and I fucking hated him. So I didn't feel bad about lying that he died. So I was like, yeah, one of my best friends, Tommy, died. And they're like, dude, that, you know, like, obviously don't come to work. And they were like, oh. Mm-hmm. Well, then, like a week later, I did the same thing. I got fucking hammered. And so I called in and I was like, I totally forgot it's Tommy's funeral today. So I got to use the same guy dying twice.
They're like, it's been 5 days.
Yeah, they're like, how'd you forget? You know, like that's probably what they were thinking. But I was just like, yeah, just one of my best friend. I'm just like
so much grief.
And I just had like so much going on. So like, I got to use the same guy dying twice in a week as an excuse out of work when I could have just been like, yeah, I'm not coming.
Yeah, no.
Like, okay. Yeah.
Oh. Well, you learn that older, right?
Yeah, like I figured it out later. I was
when you're young enough, though, you don't have jobs that have like time. So, like, I used an aunt once. Like, it's bad, but I think we've all done it. Where you're like, who's the one? And you're like, that's the aunt, I'll say. Like, I have an aunt that like I've seen her like 3 times in my life. She's never made an effort.
She did.
When I do, she kind of does the like, oh, the unfortunate branch of the family. And I'm like, oh, sorry.
Not wrong.
Yeah. That's what makes it worse, though. I'm like, you're my aunt. You can at least lie to me and say you're proud of me. So it's like, yeah, fuck you. You're the one. You're my get out of work dead aunt. We all have one.
I told like 4 people you died just to get out of work, you stupid bitch.
And I'll do it again on your actual day of death.
I cursed you.
No, it's a struggle though. But yeah, is that the shittiest thing you've ever done to get out of something?
That's no, because I don't feel bad about it. Because that's how much I hated Tommy. Like he was a dickhead, man.
So
he was.
It's not cool to say that someone died and they didn't, but also it's like you didn't really feel.
Yeah,
bad.
But if fuck them, then fuck them.
I didn't feel bad about.
No,
my
I don't
aunt
feel.
either.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I did that once. I
mean, I would feel bad if I did to like my aunt that I like. I love my aunt.
Yeah.
Like then I'd be like, it's bad karma to say that.
Yeah. I have one from Boston. This is probably the one I feel the worst about, but I didn't write a paper, right? I was supposed to write a paper, and I just needed like an extra day or two. And the guy was like, well, what happened? And I was like, I don't know if I should say this, but my roommate's a cutter. And I was like, he had an incident last night.
Jesus.
And so my writing time got chewed up. And he was like, oh man. And like that's the worst is when like the professor is like really
like invested in it.
He's like caring. So he's like, oh, my student I'm trying to help teach and mold saw his friend almost
kill himself.
How can I reach
these kids?
Yeah, and he's like, don't worry about your film on like Charlie Chaplin paper. What? Like some stupid shit. And he's like, and then you're like, well, now I feel bad. Like if he had argued with me, right? Because your dream is my roommate cut themselves, and he goes, yeah, right. You want to see the blood? Like that's the dream, right? It's like he calls you out and you're like, I'm gonna Karen your ass now.
Chucky once, Miller that we had on the podcast a couple weeks ago in college, he fucking, to get out of class, he texted a professor and told him that he got in a car wreck, said that he got in a car wreck. And the professor was like, obviously, like, take the time that you need or whatever. So like couple weeks later, Miller's like, okay, I'll go back to class. He went to fucking Goodwill and bought used crutches and wrapped his leg up and crutched his way just to that class. And then he would leave that class and like put the crutches away and go to his other classes or whatever. But for that one class, he sold that lie for like the whole semester.
just to get that one week off.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
I admire the commitment.
Yeah, I do too. I love just if you're gonna do it, do it. And he made like a fake Yahoo email address with his dad's name so that he could email the professor as his dad and be like, yeah, my son got in a wreck and like all this. It's like, God damn, dude, just like it's college. Like they're not taking they're probably not even counting you.
Well, also, you're paying to be there.
Yeah, there's no attendance, man.
They don't give a fuck.
Hey, guys, we got to get out of here. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.